ॐ शङ्खं चक्रं जलौकां दधदमृतघटं चारुदोर्भिश्चतुर्भिः सूक्ष्मस्वच्छातिहृद्यां शुक परिविलसन्मौलिमम्भोजनेत्रम् कालाम्भोदोज्ज्वलाङ्गं कटितटविलसच्चारुपीताम्बराढ्यम् वन्दे धन्वन्तरिं तं निखिलगदवनप्रौढदावा.
Good evening to all the chairpersons and the dignitaries who are presented in the hall. I would like to draw your attention for a couple of minutes towards the study on pathogenesis and management in thyroid dysfunction with special reference to Ayurvedic concepts. I myself, Dr. A. R. Singh from the Department of Shalyatantra, SV Ayurvedic Medical College, Tirupati. I worked under the guidance of Dr. Dattatreya Rao Garu and Dr. Bhaskar Rao Garu. These are the salient features of my study. Coming to the introduction, metabolic disorders are the most challenging diseases of modern era. Disastrous effects of metabolic disorders are having great impact on various aspects of human life. Most common metabolic disorders include diabetes, thyroid disorders, metabolic syndrome, etc. Thyroid disorders had incidence of 42 million per year among 108 million per year of all metabolic disorders. And 1 in every 4,000 newborn is suffering from hypothyroidism. Coming to the need for this study, in Ayurveda, there is no direct mentioning of thyroid dysfunction by a word and the other related abnormalities. But the similar symptoms and pathogenesis of thyroid dysfunction explained under different headings. Critical review and analytical study of scattered topics in various Ayurvedic classics will give us sufficient knowledge to establish the pathogenesis and treatment of thyroid dysfunctions. There are two purposes of my study. First one which I studied earlier, and second one is the clinical study on the effect of Raktamokshana with leech therapy in hypothyroidism. When I am thinking about the hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism, I just go through the Charaka Samhita. I had Charaka Samhita. In Charaka Samhita, I get a beautiful quotation from Charaka which inspired me to work out on this aspect. Acharya Saraka says that mere absence of the name of the disease doesn't mean that the disease doesn't exist. One need not feel shy when one does not know the name of the disease. A physician should try to comprehend the nature of the disease, that is dosha, the site of its manifestation, etiological factor, and they should initiate the treatment. Will never fail in the treatment. Keeping the Acharya Charaka's view in mind, in the present study, a few conditions which are similar to the thyroid dysfunction are taken and critical study and analysis of them were done along with the doshic interpretation to understand the thyroid dysfunctions in Ayurvedic paralenses. These are the few conditions which I have taken into this study, that is Galaganda, Kafaja Nanatmaja Vikaras, Kafaja Shota and Bhasmaka Roga. This is the comparative table of Galaganda and the goiter. In the Galaganda and goiter, most of these symptoms and signs are same. That is geographical distribution, extensive etiological factors like water, etc. and pressure symptoms like pain, associated symptoms like swelling, etc. are mentioned both in the Ayurvedic and modern paralenses as well as. But the generalized symptoms are not mentioned in the Ayurveda. For that purpose, I had chosen two more diseases to understand this. In the Vimshati Nanatmaja Vikaras of Kapha, there is disorders mentioned like Trupti, that is anorexia, Tantra, drowsiness, Nidradikya, excessive sleep, Gurugatrata, heaviness of body, Balasa, loss of strength, Atistolya, obesity, Sitagnita, suppression of digestive fire. All together are individually are similar to the symptoms of hypothyroidism and present in the hypothyroidism. That's why this is taken into the study. And mixed edema is the cardinal sign of the hypothyroidism. It occurs in the chronic stages of hypothyroidism. The mixed edema can be understood with the Kafaja Shota. The symptoms are heaviness, it remains stable and takes long time to appear and cure. There is non-pitting edema is present and the associated symptoms are anorexia and vahimanyata are present in both the conditions. The symptoms which is explained for the hypothyroidism, that is cold intolerance, is explained in the Ayurvedic Kafaja Shota itself. And coming to the Bhasmaka Roga, there is Bhasmaka Roga is a hypermetabolic disorders explained by the Acharya Charaka, which can be comparable to the hyperthyroidism, which is also having the hypermetabolism in the body. The symptoms which are having the similarities are increased appetite, compulsive food consumption, weight loss, excessive thirst, warmth, vertigo are present in the both of the conditions. That's why we had taken it into the study. And the idiopathogenesis and the treatment principle which were explained for these conditions may be adopted for the thyroid dysfunctions. First, coming for the Galaganda, Nidana and Samprapti, Vata and Kapha along with Medos localizes in the sides of neck, produces a tumor with their own doshic predominance. There are three types of Galagandas: Vatas, Kaphas and Medos. These are the Galaganda Lakshanas explained as per the classics. Coming to the Kapha Shota Samprapti, intake of heavy, sweet, cold, anxious diet, excessive sleep and lack of exercise. By this, Kapha gets aggravated and it affects the skin, muscle, etc. and causes the Kapha type of swelling. This is the Bhasmaka Roga Samprapti, that is hypermetabolism. Pitta gets aggravated along with the Vayu surrounds the food and it immediately digests the food taken frequently. It even consumes tissue elements and make the person to death. The treatment principles I will go in brief. In Vataja Galaganda Chikitsa, the main treatment principles adopted are fomentation, bloodletting with leeches or Sira Vedana, apply with the warm poultice, internal oil with the Amrutavalli drugs. Kafaja Galaganda Chikitsa, fomentation is explained, and after that Rakta Vishravana and NSC Sirovireshna and Vedeshneka Dhumapana are explained. In Medosh Galaganda Chikitsa, Bini puncture should be adopted and the tumor should be cut open by the sharp instruments and fat should be scraped out and suturing or burn should be done. Shota Chikitsa, Shota Samanya Chikitsa can be adopted along with the Kafaja Shota Chikitsa. This is Trikatu Trivrat Katkarohini mixed with the powder of iron should be consumed along with the Tripala Rasa. Intake of Harikati along with cow's urine. This is Bhasmaka Roga Chikitsa. Siravana should be performed. Vireshana should be performed. After that, Guru, Snigdha, Sita, Madhura, Pichila, Mamsarasas and Annapana should be used. This is the doshic interpretation of the hypothyroidism symptoms. Here we can observe that Vata Vriddhi and Kapha Vriddhi symptoms are more predominant and Pitta Kshaya Lakshanas are dim. The Vata Vriddhi Lakshanas are sensitivity, cold, dryness of skin, constipation, tiredness, vague body pains. Coming to Kapha Vriddhi, there is reduced mental activity, reduced physical activity and weight gain and mixed edema. Coming to Pitta Kshaya Lakshanas, there is reduced sweating, that is Sveda Bhava is seen in hypothyroidism. This is the slide showing the doshic interpretation of hypothyroidism symptoms. This shows the Vata Vriddhi along with the Pitta Vriddhi. The Vata Vriddhi Lakshanas are Krishatva, Kampa and Pitta Vriddhi Lakshanas are Tikshnagni, Aushna, Atishveda, etc. After among going through all the treatment aspects explained in our classes, I had selected one of the treatment modality, that is Raktamokshana in Galaganda, and applied it on a few patients because Rakta Vishravana can be adopted by leech therapy or Urumula Samshita Siravedana in Galaganda. That is mentioned by Acharya Shalaka, Raktam Vishravya Jalukadibihi Ya Urumula Samshita Siravedaneva. That's why I had selected this. In the present study, Raktamokshana with leeches has selected as a treatment option in hypothyroidism because the leech therapy is most suitable to the tender constitution persons and to persons of female who are the most present victims in the hypothyroidism in the present society. Coming to the clinical study design, it is a single blind non-comparative clinical study. 7 patients were selected in simple randomized way who came to SV Ayurvedic Hospital Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh to the Department of Sharia. This is the inclusion and exclusion criteria which I had followed. In the inclusion criteria, patients of either sex with the age 16 to 60 years were selected and the patients who are having the classical signs of hypothyroidism and the thyroid profile suggesting the hypothyroid status. In the exclusion criteria, the patients with secondary hypothyroidism and goiter with the complications were excluded in the study. Coming to the baseline assessment criteria which we have taken, the thyroid hormonal assay before and after treatment was conducted. Zulansky clinical score, weighing scale, physical examination of goiter was performed before and after the treatment to evaluate the treatment efficacy. You can see the Zhulinski clinical score on the slide. It is the clinical score which shows the intensity of the various signs and symptoms which are present in the hypothyroidism. The severity of the number means the 12, it is all of 12 is present for the total score. The increase in the total symptoms which represents the severity of the symptoms. Next, coming to the Weiss Thyroid Diagnostic Index for goiter. It is the scale to diagnose the toxicity of the goiter. The scale which is showing the score below 11, it is non-toxic goiter, that is hypothyroid goiter, and score between 11 to 19 is it is equivocal, that is normal goiter. Score above 19 shows the hypergoiter status. This is the treatment modality we had adopted. During the leech therapy, a fresh non-poisonous leeches were collected, and for activation of them, they were kept in 48 minutes, that is 1 muhurta, in Haridra water to activate the Jaluka. And the Jaluka was taken and kept in and around the thyroid gland in anterior part of the neck. They were left in situ until they leave themselves. Here in the first photograph you can observe it is the Jaluka kept. Just after that, the photograph was taken. After a few 40 minutes, the photograph showed that is a pulsing of Jaluka. After that, the Jaluka was removed and the vomiting was induced to Jaluka, and they were labeled and kept in the normal water. This is the baseline assessment criteria before and after the treatment. Here you can observe there is the patients were get from the goiter status came to hypothyroid status to euthyroid status, and the clinical score also reduced dramatically, and TSH value has significant change. I will show in the next slides. This is the graphical representation of thyroid stimulating hormone levels before and after the treatment. The red pyramid shows that these are the levels before the thyroid hormonal assay before the treatment, and the green pipe shows the thyroid stimulating hormone after the treatment. You can observe there is a significant change before and after the treatment in thyroid stimulating hormone. This is the Zhulinski clinical score graphical representation before and after the treatment. It was adapted to know the clinical symptom severity of the patient. Before the treatment, you can observe that is a green pipe is showing the clinical score before the treatment. You can observe the severity of the symptoms, and the pink pipe shows that the symptoms are very much reduced and few of the patients became asymptomatic after the treatment. Statistical analysis. Any work without statistical analysis can't withstand in the present society. So we would like to make a statistical analysis. The study showed TSH value significant at 5% level of significance with t-value 1.94 in student t-test. We had selected paid t-test because we are choosing only one group, and the treatment should be assessed before and after the treatment. Coming to the conclusion, for the thyroid dysfunction, the Galaganda chikitsas can be adopted for both the hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. For the hypothyroidism, the treatments like Galaganda, Kafaja Nanatmaja Vikara chikitsa, Kafaja Shota chikitsa can be adopted according to the condition. For the hyperthyroidism, along with the Galaganda chikitsa, the Basmakagni chikitsa, and basically it is an autoimmune disorder, you can go for the Manasaroga chikitsa as well as to control the symptoms. Hence, it is concluded that thyroid dysfunction and disorders are explained in a scattered manner in Ayurveda. The analysis of these material regarding the thyroid dysfunction could lead to arrive at a method of management in all of these disorders. A clinical application of Jaluka Vachana, which is mentioned by our ancient acharyas in the management of hypothyroidism, in this trial proved to be effective and beneficial. Statistically, it is also proved that it endorses the validity of the work. Already the chairperson told that it is a Shastra, not a science. Just I would like to bring in a light before you, and thanks to one and all, and thanks for the WAC who gave me the better opportunity to present here. I thank one and all. Thank you.